Okay, now look, we finna go step by step on how to get approved for a Navy Federal Auto Loan, right? And after you get approved, for you guys also who looking, this is also how to convert a auto loan into a personal unsecured loan, right? So now look, the first thing you wanna do, you wanna log into your Navy Federal portal. Then you're going to select the application links. And after you select the application links, it's going to give you options. Credit card, mortgage, auto, select auto loans, right? Well, you got personal loans too, but select auto loans. After you select auto loans, they're going to ask you your simple information, first name, middle name, last name, and it also asks you for your gross monthly revenue. So if your gross monthly revenue is, let's say, 14,800, right? You're gonna put that inside of each box, right? They're gonna ask you how much you make a month. So that's 14,800. So you're looking at say like 160, 170 a month. 170 a year. And then they're gonna ask you also how much money you make other outside of your yearly income. You're gonna put I make $1,000 extra a year, right? Aside from your yearly income. After you select that, they're going to ask you what type of vehicle are you looking into getting to. You're going to say, hey, I'm looking for a new car. You select new car. They're also going to ask you down payment amount. How much do you want to pay Navy Federal to submit this application? You can say zero if you want to. Select zero. They're going to ask you how much money, like how much financing do you need? Like how much money do you need? Guys who got good credit, y'all got good credit, make sure that y'all go under 75,000. Anything over, make sure your shit at 800 or 780 and better, and you've been with them for over a year. But if you ain't been with them for over a year, your credit ain't that, make sure it's under 75,000. 74,000, perfect. And so you can get everything in a dealership really with 75,000. But let's just say select $74,000, right? So once you select 74,000, after you read over the terms, they're also going to ask you where would the car be registered. Select a different state from where you live in. And this is for the people who I'm also about to teach and how to convert a personal loan, auto loan into a personal loan, an unsecured personal loan. So select a different state. So you have family members, friends, cousins, make sure that you just have their address on the side. You don't have to give it to Navy Federal. You're going to have to give it to the dealership once you go up there. So after you put all that information in, hey, I'm getting it registered in Illinois. Say if you live in Maine and you want to get it registered in Illinois, that's cool. After that, they also going to say, how would you like to receive the check? Would you like us to send it in the mail, or would you like to come to a branch? If you guys live near Navy Federal, like under an hour, then yeah, go to a branch. If not, you're going to have to wait till the check comes to you. Okay, so once you submit everything, Navy Federal going to be loading the thing. And then if you got good credit, no collections, it's gonna come back as approved. They're gonna say, okay, your auto loan draft has been approved. Once your auto loan draft has been approved, you go to the bank and they're gonna give you the check. Now, if you apply for 74,000, the max you can spend is 74,000. You can't go over or under. So you have to make sure all the taxes, title transfers, and all that stuff also is included when you're trying to make the transfer over, right? So now that's how you get the loan, right? You want to say you make over $140,000 a year easily. And then on top of that, you always want to make sure that you tell Navy Federal that you make other income. And you also can set the terms at 60 months, 12 months. It doesn't really matter. It's really about the income, because when they measure the debt to income ratio, that's what matters the most. And they're not going to verify any of that anyway. And after you do that, you go pick up the check. Now, for you guys who want to have the car registered to you and you don't want Navy Federal to be on those loans, what you will honestly have to do is you have to go to a dealership that's not, let's say they not the most, like a Toyota or something like that, right? It got to be a dealership you really know. It can be a private dealership. Now, you can tell the people at the dealership, hey, I'm registering this vehicle out of state. Now, a lot of people who register vehicle out of state, when they send an electronic transfer over, what happened most of the time is it mess up in the filing. The only thing they really do is actually pay for all the fees. They don't actually get it electronically transferred. That's what happened with my situation. They thought they electronically transferred, but no. They tell you at the dealership They say, hey, it's your responsibilities to go pick up the title in your state. It's your responsibilities to put Navy Federal as the first lien holder. Because when you buy from a dealer from that state, they really can only electronically file within that state. But if you take it out of the state, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be responsible for doing a registration. But you just give them an address out of state. Say, hey, it's going to be parked at my grandmother's house, out of state. This is where the car going to be. Okay, they're like, okay, you got, okay, we're going to give you a plate. They're going to give you a temporary plate in the state that you're in. But the whole time you can live in that state, but you just want to say it's registered in Illinois or registered outside the state that you live in, right? So that's one thing, because you have to go to that state to get the title together. Now, once you get the vehicle, right, once you sign all the documents, you get the insurance and everything, make sure you get it in the other state. Now, once you get the insurance, the documents, you don't register the car. So the car at that particular time won't have liens. They won't have the title. Now, once you pick the car, then Navy Federal is going to send you the agreement. Because now, after you receive the car, you pay for it, but you haven't signed anything, because now the loan starts once you use the funds. So once you use the funds, now Navy Federal is going to ask you, hey, do you, they're going to say, what they're going to ask, they're going to okay, you need to sign these terms and agreements. The terms and agreements is self-explanatory. They say you waive all rights. And if you was to ever default on a loan, Navy Federal can take your property at any given time. Payments must be made directly to Navy Federal. Navy Federal must be placed as a lien holder of the vehicle. Because if you was to sign that and you was to send that back to Navy Federal like most people do, what happened is you subjecting yourself to be for your car to be towed, or you subjecting yourself for your car to be repoed. The average person on this group, car been repoed one time in their life. I ain't never had a car. This is my first time ever getting a lease, but the average person, car has been repoed plenty of time, especially if you're under the age of 25. So bills come, stress come, but also you have a lien on the vehicle. And when you have a lien on the vehicle, you are obligated to pay off that lien, because as long as they are on a lien and you also sign a promissory note, you did. Because when you sign the agreement, you terminate all of your rights from you keeping the vehicle. Because even if you want to keep credit, you could have been paying them back every single month, but you still would have had rights to the title. Because what would happen if you can't pay no more? You can sell the vehicle and you can keep the money and you can get the shit off your credit. But if you sign that promissory note, they get all rights and obligations. That's how they can take you to court, because they got that. When it's just like a mortgage. Once you get a mortgage loan, you make a pledge that you sign documents. They take that pledge to the court and say, hey, Your Honor, he took out this loan. So we finna go ahead and, try to get this car back from him. But in my case, I didn't sign a promissory note. And then on top of not signing a promissory note, I didn't put them as a lien holder, because I registered the car out of state, and the car not registered out of state. I got to go out of state to go get that handled, because they do not work with the electronic transfer within the state that I live in. So I'll have to go to Illinois to get them to get the title issue. But I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? Why would I jeopardize myself like that? Many people don't, read these contracts and how the banks work. So now, let's get to it. Now you got the vehicle clear and free. You didn't sign the paperwork. You have the vehicle, but you got no title. You're going to call the company where you bought the car from, not the dealership, but the company. So if it's a Ram truck, you're going to call Ram. When you call Ram customer service, you say, hey, I would like the MCO, the manufacturer certificate of origin. They're going to then contact you back 5 days later and say, okay, you want the MCO, what's your address? And they're going to write an MCO out in your name. Or you can get it online. You can get an MCO written out to you. You can pay like $150 to get an MCO written out to you. Or manufacturer service of origin, manufacturer certificate of origin. It really doesn't matter. They just tell you what the vehicle comes from and who's the rightful owner. Boom. It's not specifying any liens or anything like that. Once you get that MCO, you can go to the dealership with that MCO and you can ask for a title. And when you ask them for a title, you can show the bill of sale. The bill of sale will not have the bank name on it. Just use the bill of sale. The bill of sale is going to show you as the purchaser, and the dealership is the one that you bought it from is the seller. and the MCO is going to show you as the rightful owner. So the state going to give you the title. Now, this is another thing. If you want the car, keep the car. If you don't want the car, sell the car. You could take the car to another dealership and sell it. You could take it to a different dealership and sell it. It doesn't matter which dealership you take it to sell it, because they're going to get it sold. They're going to get it sold. Especially if it's like a $60,000, $70,000 car, they're going to get it sold instantly. So if you want to take it up there to sell it, cool. And you can write that off your credit, because I'm going to tell y'all a credit trick. They can't prove that you was obligated to a loan if you ain't signed on it. Signing that loan agreement with them, the promissory note and the promise to pay, you subject yourself to that. You subject yourself to it. The very moment when you sign that promissory note, you subject yourself to that loan. And if you was to dispute that through the credit bureaus, they can find out whether or not that you was actually paying on that car. And not only paying on that car, they can see the signature. You never supposed to submit a payment. You never supposed to sign a promissory note. You never supposed to put them as a lien holder. These are the 3 tricks how they get you. You making a payment, signing a promissory note, and not only signing the promissory note, you made a payment. You signed a promissory note, payment, you put them as a lien holder. That's how they get people all the time. And for the most part, it's all about protection. It ain't got nothing to do with getting over on a bank. I advise you guys to pay back the loan. It don't matter, it's credit. But also, I want you guys to be protected. So those are step-by-steps on how I got approved, what process I took, and how I did it. I can't expect it. I can't expect everybody situation to be like mine. Mine's a little bit different. I refuse to be a slave. I refuse to pay an obligation where I have no ownership or control over. I like to have control over things. I got a nice truck, so look, this is how it works sometimes. The banks want you to default, but the only way you can default is to sign that damn letter. If you was to sign that letter, you default, because that letter is a default. It's everything included. It's the promise to pay. It's a default. It's a judgments, waivers, it's every goddamn thing up in that form. And once you put your signature on there and you send it back to Navy Federal, you subject yourself to the loan. And that's how draft checks work. You can do it any bank. It's the same thing. Once you get the draft check and you use it, they're going to send you your papers to sign. Once you sign those papers, you are obligated. Don't matter. Even if the title is not even in their name, they can take it, because they can get a default judgment just like that, because they got you signing that you received that car under that VIN. So if you sign it, you done. Like me, I ain't signed it. What proof y'all got I got the car? Y'all ain't got no proof. There ain't no proof right there. There ain't no proof on me you're obligated to it, because I got the truck. It's not in y'all name. On top of it not being in y'all name, I ain't signed no paperwork. That's the main thing. People signing documents, not reading. You ain't supposed to sign the promise to pay. That's the number one thing. You signing your promissory note, right? When you first go up there, when you sign the check, that check is not the same when you sign your contract, because you don't get your contract until you use the check, because the check is not the loan. The loan don't start until you buy a vehicle. Because say if you get a $74,000 check, you spend $60,000. That $60,000, that's your loan now. Because now you took out the loan, now it's time. Now we got to send them these documents. They're going to call you, hey man, you signed these yet? Did you sign them? That's what I got on the phone with the lady. I'm like, she's like, did you sign these? I'm like, yeah, send me another copy. They sent me 3 copies already. 3. I'm like, damn, why they want me to sign these so bad? Because your loan officer know if you don't sign them, they can't take you to court. They know if you can't sign them, they can't repo your car. I could put my vehicle in front of Navy Federal overnight and come back and still be there, because I have no contracts with them. They won't take it. They don't take theirs. Y'all gotta know how this game work. You can get off your credit. It's easy to get off your credit. It's called Experian Up. What? I don't recognize this account. How many payments you made? None. They'll look at the profile. You ain't made no payments. Yeah, nothing. They're gonna ask the bank, hey, he said he took out a loan. Did he really take out a loan? They got me under no promissory, no signature, nothing. It's credit off the credit right there. So free truck. And then you can go anywhere with that same credit score and do the same thing. I'm not telling you guys to try to defraud them, but if you want to, it's legal to convert an auto loan to a personal unsecured loan, and you can pay back that loan amount. So if you sold the car for 50 and it's worth 60, you got to pay back the obligation to the bank. That's if you want to, because everything operates through credit. Even if you pay back 10,000 and file for bankruptcy, you can do that as well. It's not legal. It's credit. It's credit. 60,000, you mess up your credit score, okay, you can start over. But guess when you can't start over? When you have a $60,000 note, they took your damn car, so you out of a car and a note. That's how most people is. They took the car from you, and you already put 10, 20 in the car, and you broke. You ain't got a dollar in your pocket. You just took the whole thing out. You ain't got a penny in your pocket. And then you asked the mom, man, Mom, they keep taking my car. You got some money? You gotta know how the game works. You gotta be the creditor. Can't be signing no contract so fast. Think. That's a free truck. That's a nice 2022. A Ram built to serve. It's a red Ram built to serve. No title on it. No registration on it. No nothing. Just got a bill of sale, and I filed a bond on it. I filed a bond with the surety company in Florida. You can prove ownership. It's called a bonded title. And I paid $150 for it to have a bond on it. So they can't even take it like that. Ain't no liens on it. I'm out, man. This how y'all do it. This how y'all apply for a Navy federal loan. And it's also how you convert auto loan to unsecured personal loan. Do y'all, man. I'm not giving you bad advice. It's just educational purposes only. I'm out.